listen, I am definitely of the opinion, that we should have some DEI hires in this administration, you know, the ones that definitely earned it, because clearly we've got a bunch of incompetent fools that are trying to run our country, and actually they are running our country. They're running it straight into the ground. The fact that you literally are going to plan enemy attacks on a signal chat, and then you don't even know who's in the signal chat, and then y'all want to come at us and act like people of color are the problem or that women are the problem? Like, baby, you probably need a good black woman in the room who can check you and tell you that, first of all, you shouldn't be doing this shit on Signal or anything else. But y'all still mad about Hillary's servers. Is that what I hear? Yeah. So anyway, literally, I don't know if like your homeboy was drunk at the time that he was sending these messages or what, but clearly this administration is not ready for prime time. And this is not a matter of being a Democrat or a Republican. This is literally about competence versus incompetence. And right now, these people are about to like really have us in some shit if they don't get their shit together, or if we don't just boot them first. Like, honestly, we should be in a very bipartisan way saying, you know what? Sorry, boo, but this is just above your pay grade, and we need to get some people that are actually qualified. So maybe we need to go ahead and open this pool to, say, black folk, brown folk.
Meanwhile,
an all-time low in popularity. The latest NBC News national poll finds that a majority of registered voters, 55%, have a negative view of the party, while 27%, just over a quarter of registered voters, have a positive view of the party. That's the party's lowest rating in NBC News polling dating back to 1990. Meanwhile, though, a new CNN SSRS poll finds the Democratic Party's favorability rating at just 29%, a record low going back to 1992, and a drop of 20 points since January of 2021. What's more, just 63% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents have a favorable view of their own party, down 9 points from January and 18 points from the start of the Biden administration.
Boy. So we got to talk about Ghetto Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who is continuing to show the world why the Democrat Party is more unpopular than ever. Okay, for as much as Democrats are going to boohoo, whine, and cry and fake outrage over this texting scandal, that doesn't change the reality that their party's approval is in the tank, okay? And the direction of President Trump's approval rating, okay, versus the Democrat Party approval rating, they're going in the exact opposite direction, okay? So again, it's just funny because listening to all these talking points from the mainstream liberal media, the Democrats, about how incompetent the Trump administration is, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, hold on. Who presided over the Afghanistan withdrawal, okay, which was the most embarrassing military disaster that we've seen in a long time, okay? And American heroes actually lost their lives over that. Oh, wait, that was the Democrats, right? The Democrats presided over that. Who presided over inflation and then lied about it and told the American people that it's transitory? Oh, wait, the Democrats presided over that. Who presided over the largest illegal immigration crisis, invasion in American history, right, at our border? Oh, wait, Democrats presided over that, right? Who is presiding over these liberal cities that are currently experiencing a mass exodus, okay? People fleeing the cities because the cities are filled with crime and chaos. Oh, wait, Democrats are presiding over these cities, right? So it's just so hilarious to me that now all of a sudden Democrats want to have a conversation about competence, right? The most incompetent administration in history wants to now have a conversation about competence, okay, over some leaked messages in a group chat, right? Really? Again, this is the same administration that presided over the Afghanistan withdrawal, okay, that actually did cost the lives of American soldiers, right? But again, they want to talk about incompetence. This is not an argument that Democrats are going to win. Again, I don't know why they're trying to engage in this argument, but it's just not going to work. Regardless, we got to talk about Jasmine Crockett, as you guys saw at the beginning of this video, because she is now crashing out, right? She's becoming more and more unhinged as her and AOC rise to become the leaders of the Democrat Party, okay? Her and AOC are the future of the Democrat Party, and it's extremely important for people to realize just how radical these lunatics are, right? Because we've already discussed Jasmine Crockett and the fact that the DOJ, Pam Bondi, has warned her about inciting violence against Elon Musk and Tesla, okay? But the ghetto congresswoman just continues to speak in ways that seem as if she's trying to incite violence, again, not just against Elon Musk and Tesla, but also against Republican politicians. Like, for example, Ted Cruz.
I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever.
How do you win elections in Texas as a Democrat? What do you do? Especially statewide, but
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. You know, I think, and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But, like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him, like, at all. Like, you go clean off on him, right?
Your words have consequences. And what happened after she said that about Elon Musk, she's a Texan in her own home state. After she said that, this morning, 3 explosive devices were found in Austin, Texas. So she needs to unequivocally denounce the violence. She must apologize immediately, not only to all Texans, but to our country, to the American shareholders of Tesla, because she is promoting violence. And then you showed the clip of what she said about Senator Cruz. I believe she probably will be censured by Congress for saying that. You know, people don't learn. She's using her public persona, her public platform to increase her followers, to increase her significance, and she is threatening lives, safety. You know, when she did this at Tesla, Sean, people's lives are in danger. This is America. We're in a free country, and she's yet encouraging this violence in our country. Think of all the lives that could have been jeopardized in Texas just today by her words and what she's done. But she didn't stop with that. She continued on with Senator Cruz. She has to apologize immediately and denounce the violence.
Yeah, well, she's not going to, right? And this is why I think that Miss Pam Bondi needs to stop playing around, right? I'm tired of the tough talk. I want to see some action, okay? I want to see these Democrats held accountable because she is not going to stop trying to incite violence, okay? She's not going to denounce the domestic terrorism that is happening in this country from her supporters. She's not going to do any of that stuff, right? So, again, I don't know why you're demanding an apology when you should just be filing them charges, right? Because that's the only thing that these people respond to, okay? These individuals are unhinged, okay? They're unhinged. Jasmine Crockett, she went as far as to mock a disabled GOP governor, Governor Greg Abbott, okay, of Texas. She decided to mock him for being in a wheelchair.
Tell you that Morgan has always been one of those people that will ask, what is it that you need? You know, a lot of people see you out front fighting, but nobody's really asking you, what do you need to maintain that fight? So thank you so much, Morgan, because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes. Right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on because I got other people this also hot in these streets.
Yeah. So you see that, you heard that. That is the leader of the Democrat Party, guys. This is the current state of the Democrat Party. These are the people that are basically going to represent the Democrats going into the future, right? A sitting Democrat congresswoman that mocks a disabled GOP governor, okay? He's disabled. She also mocked his looks as well, too. She said there's nothing hot about him except that he's a hot mess, right? Basically, look shaming him, right? Shaming him for how he looks. So, you know, this is how far the Democrat Party has fallen, okay? And I want people to understand that because this is the reason why their approval rating is in the tank. They're not a serious party, guys. I mean, Jasmine Crockett herself even admitted that, yeah, we don't have a legislative agenda, right? So taxpayers are paying Jasmine Crockett to basically just be Trump deranged and to not actually do what her job is, which is to legislate. In which, again, she admits that, that's just not what we're doing right now. I'm not doing my job. Okay, you're paying me literally just to rage and to boo-hoo on and cry about Trump. That is what Jasmine Crockett admitted that taxpayer dollars are being used for. Take a look.
Let's talk first about this session, some of your goals. Is there anything you're trying to pass? How much of it is going on offense? How much of it is going on defense, trying to stop the Republicans?
Trying to pass, no. I should probably be a better politician and tell you, yes, we've got all this amazing legislation that I can absolutely imagine Donald Trump signing into law, and I'm just not gonna lie. I think that right now it is about preserving our basics and getting back some of the norms that make sure that people have food on the table, the norms that make sure that people aren't going through any extra layer of stress when it comes to figuring out education for their kids. So right now, I can tell you that unfortunately, I am not working towards very much that I would consider being the progress train. I am working to make sure that I can minimize the regress train right now. And I think, and I hope that my district appreciates that I am being honest with them.
Yeah, so again, that is a sitting congresswoman admitting that, I'm not doing my job, right? I'm not here to actually, legislate or to do anything like that, right? I'm just here to be an agent of chaos, right? That's it. That's what she's admitting out loud, right? Which, again, says a whole lot about her constituents, that, they are sending individuals like her to represent them and to represent them in a way that I think is kind of shameful, considering the fact that now she's doing a whole lot of cursing, right? More ghetto talk, unruly behavior, very unprofessional. She's acting in ways that, again, are stereotypically not classy and beneath her office. But hey, it is what it is. If Democrats want to make the ghetto congresswoman their leader, fine, right? I would be more than happy to see Democrats march out AOC, Bernie, Jasmine Crockett, the Rashida Tlaibs, the Ayanna Presleys, the Ilhan Omars. March them out, right? March them out as your leadership, okay? And let's see how far that gets you, right? It doesn't matter how many scandals about the Trump administration come out. If that is what Democrats are going with as their leadership, they're going to lose. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, the approval rating of President Trump is going in the opposite direction of the approval rating for the Democrat Party, okay? President Trump's approval rating is going up. The Democrats' approval rating is going down. And even CNN is going to be shocked. They're going to admit that, for all of the negative talk that we do about President Trump, in the grand scheme of things, right, in proper context, he's actually polling pretty well right now. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I think sometimes it's important to do a little bit of reality check and take a little different spin at the numbers. I'm going to do that right here because all we talk about is how unpopular Donald Trump is. But in reality, he's basically more popular than he was at any point in term number one and more popular than he was when he won election back in November of 2024. What are we talking about? His net favorable rating right now comes in at -4 points. Compare that to where he was when he won in November of 2024 when he was at -7 points, or March of 2017 when he was at -10 points. So when you compare Trump against himself, he's actually closer to the apex than he is to the bottom of the trough. And of course, that's so important because Donald Trump, historically speaking, has had his numbers underestimated. So I think it's very important to compare him to himself to understand he's actually more popular now than he was when he won, or certainly where he was at this point back in his first term. The bottom line is Trump is more towards the ceiling than he is towards the floor.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Again, this is a very important point because as Mr. Harry Enton pointed out, the polls typically, Trump underperforms, okay? So when you look at any of these numbers, you got to understand that these numbers are probably fake, right? These numbers are probably not that accurate, okay? So his approval rating is probably much higher than what's on paper, but even the approval rating on paper is better than it's ever been, right? Again, that's despite the 24/7 Trump derangement from the media, right? For 8 years straight, 8 years straight, okay? Almost a decade of nonstop Trump derangement, 24/7, nothing but negative press, but his approval rating is at the highest that it's ever been. And again, we know the polls are rigged, right? We know the polls aren't accurate when it comes to gauging Trump's support. So again, what does that tell you, right? What does that tell you about where President Trump is going right now in regards to his standing with the American people versus Democrat Party, right? So again, this is why I'm just kind of like, okay, Democrats can do all the raging they want about the latest thing, right? The whole text message thing. It doesn't matter, right? It's not changing the fact that the Democrat Party is more unpopular than they've ever been in this country, okay? And yeah, I mean, at no point was President Trump more unpopular than the Democrat Party is right now, right? That's the hilarious part about it.
So when you do that, it makes my knees hurt. So when you look at this compared to sort of historically, what does it tell you about the percentage of folks that think the country itself, with him at the helm, is on the right track?
This, I think, is rather important because, again, if the polls have historically underestimated Donald Trump, what is a metric that might get at understanding at how popular he may actually be? So let's take a look at the percentage of the country who say that we're on the right track. It's actually a very high percentage when you compare it to some historical numbers. What are we talking about? According to Marist, 45% say that we're on the right track. That's the second highest that Marist has measured since 2009. How about NBC News? 44%. That's the highest since 2004. Wow. The bottom line is the percentage of Americans who say we're on the right track is through the roof. And if you were to compare it to when presidents have historically been reelected, of course, Trump is not constitutionally eligible to run for re-election, but I think it sort of puts it in perspective. 42% of the country says the country is on the right track when the incumbent party is re-elected. And also keep in mind, back when Kamala Harris lost and the Democrats were turned out of power, only about 27 to 28% of the country said the country was on the right track. The bottom line is right now, a much higher percentage of the country says we're on the right track. And finally, Sarah Seidner, I want to put it all in the congressional generic ballot.
What about Congress?
What about Congress? Because those are the folks who are up in 2026. And take a look here. The Dems versus the Republicans on the generic congressional ballot. Back in November of 2020, when Democrats won, it was +5 Democrats. Tied in November of 2022, +1 in November of 2024 when Republicans maintain control. And then you look at March of 2025. This number looks a lot more like 2022 or 2024 when Republicans won control of Congress. The bottom line is, yes, Donald Trump's approval rating is lower than compared to a lot of his predecessors, but it's higher than compared to himself. A lot of folks say the country's on the right track, and the generic congressional ballot looks a heck of a lot more like when Republicans win than when Democrats win.
It will be interesting to see if any of what just happened with these leaking of the text plays into it in a later poll. But this
No, it's not going to. I can tell you that right now, it's not going to. Basically what this CNN analyst is admitting is that in regards to how people feel about the direction of the country, right? Is the country going in the right direction? Okay. Trump is performing better than any president has performed since Bush's second term, right? Going into Bush's second term. And again, context, 24/7 Trump derangement, nothing but negative attention from the media for President Trump and rigged polls. Even with the rigged polls, the American people are saying, yeah, this country is headed in the right direction, okay, at a rate that we haven't seen in over 2 decades, okay? Again, that is remarkable, right? It is. It really is. It's phenomenal if you think about it. But see, again, the Democrats, they have decided that, no, we're going to double and triple down on the Trump derangement. We're going to double and triple down against what the American people voted for. Right. And then they wonder why their approval rating continues to tank. So, hey, like I said, Democrats, keep marching the AOCs, the Ghetto, Jasmine Crockett's, the Birdies. Keep marching those people out there, please. Right. Please keep putting them out there as a representation of the leadership within the Democrat Party in the direction that the party is going in. And I guarantee you, they're going to continue to lose elections. And they got until 2030, right? They got until 2030 to turn it around. But it doesn't look like they're going to do so. We'll see, though. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.